Hello and welcome, everybody. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good on this end. Today, I'm going through my community's favorite Christmas songs. The people of Discord have put together this awesome list for me over here of just everyone's favorite Christmas songs, and I'm going to try to get to as many of them as I possibly can. And next up on the list, we've got one from Mur. Mur, thank you so much for being a part of our community, and thank you so much for sharing so many incredible songs with us. I truly appreciate it, and it's an absolute pleasure to have you here. So Mur has BTS V featuring Peakboy. I don't think I've ever heard of Peakboy. Song is called Snowflower. BTS V celebrated his 21st birthday last year by releasing this song. It's a collaboration with the singer-rapper Peakboy, who's part of the Wooga Squad. All right, let's check it out. Let's kill the audio over here in the lo-fi audio, and let's move over here to the actual song. So Snowflower via BTS featuring Peakboy. Check it out. Oh, we're going to start off with some organics.
Hey, snow is coming today. 뭘 준비하면 돼? 널 반길 준비는 okay. 회색 canvas 위에 fallen 네가 덮어주면 돼 세상을 내게 줄게 I'll give it to you 차가운 계절 속에 네가 오는 건 event 내 blue and green을 녹여줄 따뜻한 네게 oh, oh, oh. Christmas without you, it just not be Christmas at all. Prime Minister does above us, it's just you and me. I love you. 온 세상이 하얀 꽃들로 우리의 시간을
Oh.
더욱 특별하게. 멈춰진 시간들 속에서 슬픈 이 미소에 꽃이 내려지길
Okay, before we move on, this song is all about the subtleties, and I was almost surprised how it started off acoustically like this. You know, I've been talking a lot today in my other reactions about, what makes a Christmas song a Christmas song. And a lot of times on first listen, it really comes down to the tones being used or the sound effects, that jingle bell sound you hear in the background. And so far, we haven't really heard any sounds here that are very reminiscent of Christmas, besides that little jazzy little horn section that's been way out in the atmosphere. I'll touch on that in a second because so far that's one of the most interesting things about this song to me. But I enjoy the way that this thing starts off. It starts off super simple. It just starts off with that, slap of the guitar. Like it's an electric acoustic. You can almost like hear the strings themselves vibrating just right off of the pick. Slowly, we're introduced to other sounds as well. We have what sounds like might be an upright bass, kind of like very muted and muffled in the background. Now that paired together with the stab sections of what I'll call the cinematic, some sort of electronic string section, again very muted and very kind of pulled wide back in the sound, just giving us this beautiful atmosphere. Now, pair all that with the way that V is singing right now, this nice, light, breathy tone. It almost sounds like the icicles of the song. I don't want to say his voice sounds icy, but I'm getting that kind of feel from it. And that's because everything else is so nice and warm and muted. Not super wide and like super dynamic where it like shakes the inside of your brain, but it's just so muted and works well together. All of these like slight little subtleties are like it's the little touches like that that really pull together a song like this and make it seem like you're hearing something incredibly simple that's actually fairly complex. I think it's absolutely beautiful. But what's stealing the show for me so far, dynamically, if we're to talk about just just sound wise, is that trilling horn section, and that's kind of where I'm starting to get the Christmas vibe of this. Just giving me like this jazzy type Christmas vibe. The horn is kind of doing its own thing again, very muffled, very muted, pulled back down in the background, and the sound itself has just been kind of stretched out just a little bit, and it's like really providing soundscape. It's giving us some atmosphere as well. The guitar is very clear. It's very like right up in your ear. It's the predominant sound. It sounds like you're in the room with it. And everything else sounds like it's almost a mile away and it's just like floating through the waves. If that makes any sense at all. But no, it's absolutely it's gorgeous so far. The song also is just giving me this. It feels like it's a song about kind of love. It's starting off kind of like sad and just depressing. I think lyrically, talking about the great canvas coming in and whatnot. Maybe he's longing for somebody, or is missing somebody, or he really wants to spend Christmas with somebody. But I'm kind of getting almost kind of a sad nature. But that's also intertwined with Christmas songs as well. They have a sad nature to a lot of them for whatever reason. But where this all comes into play and how it fits beautifully with the vocal stylings of V is like I said, he has this really nice, light, breathy, airy type tone to it. So when he mixes those muffled, kind of muted type of elements to it with that kind of voice to it, it almost does. It almost sounds like what's known as raindrop melodies, or just like little icicles of melodies kind of coming down and just filling in the little tiny small gaps to each individual melody that you're hearing from the other instruments. Now, so far, we're not hearing anything too complex from the other instruments. They're very simple, but they're playing off of each other. I mean, they're literally just playing with each other. Where one melody starts, another instrument kind of picks up on it. They're not playing the same thing. They're all just doing different little things, but they're working together and just filling that gap. This isn't a song where it's a bunch of samples kind of thrown together and see what sounds nice, and then it kind of goes up with an awesome hook to it. That's not what this is. This song is all about the soundscape. And I'm digging it. I'm digging it because this is giving me Christmas feels without me even just like looking at the actual words that are saying Christmas. But just from what I'm hearing right now, I'm getting Christmas feels without actually hearing Christmas type tones. And that to me is something new and interesting. Let's take this back about 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and let's continue this little jam. Oh, that horn is bringing it to life for me.
아름답게 세상이 하얗게 물들 때 빛바랜 구석들을 놓아 번질게 오랜 여기저기 하얀 천사들이 많잖아 숨을 크게 쉬고 널 닮은 채 꽃들을 봐 내 옆에 따뜻한 온기를 느껴줘 차디찬 내 고운 손으로 날 잡아줘 널 계속 지켜줄게 평생 너와 하얀 눈을 같이 맞출게.
Okay, before they come together for this awesome harmony that's coming up, and I'll take it back here a couple seconds. That was cool. That was cool how Peakboy came in and gave this song a little bit more intensity and actually felt like they sped the song up without actually speeding the song up. It's a sleight of hand. It's almost like a magic trick here in the producing world. And it really just comes down to that drum stutter. That drum stutter, as he's starting to come back in, it only lasts maybe a second and a half, a second and a quarter. And it's just that little tiny stutter, or you could call it a fill or whatever. I'm going to call it a stutter. Just gives us a little bit more intensity, and it makes it seem like the song is actually speeding up when it's not. Yes, there are more words being said than how V was saying that, but it's the same tempo. It's the same 4/4. It's the same exact beat from that point. It was just that sleight of hand, that slight stutter that made it seem like we're at a completely different part right now and things have sped up, but it hasn't. And that's done on purpose, because what you want to do is you want to keep the artistic integrity of this song moving forward without destroying what happened beforehand. It's much like making a movie. You want it to constantly be exciting, but you don't want to completely negate the fact of what happened, in the first couple scenes. It's the same thing. It's just with verses. This is a very well put together song. Peakboy's voice also sounds beautiful as well. The flow of the rap is interesting and nice as well. I'm no rap aficionado, but I mean, I could say from a song structure, just from a melodic point and from tones that I enjoy, that it definitely works and it's checking off the boxes for me. They're about to harmonize. They're about to come together, and I'm just definitely assuming it's going to be a massive harmony. It's got to be. It's got to be. I'm wondering, is V gonna continue where he started off though, or is he going to change the dynamics up? Like I said at the beginning of this song, he was very light, breathy, almost icy in his vocal styling. So I'm wondering at this point, who's going to work for the bass and who's going to work for the high notes in this? Is Peakboy going to be putting the bass in, or is it going to be V? check it out.
많잖아. 숨을 크게 쉬고 널 닮은 채 꽃들을 봐. 내 옆에 따뜻한 온기를 느껴줘. 차디찬 내 고운 손으로 날 잡아줘. 널 계속 지켜줄게. 평생 너와 하얀 눈을 같이 맞출게. Did you see the snow? Like your eyes. 너와 따뜻한 선물을 가져갈게. 끝과 같이 계절이 올 때마다 Fall in love. I'm just falling. 내 곁에 있어줘. 너와 발을 맞춰. 이 노래 부를게.
Oh, they doubled down in atmosphere.
세상이 하얀 꽃들로 우리의 분위기 더욱 깊어지게. 멈춰진 가로등 아래서 웃는 이 미소에 꽃이 내려지길.
Are they going to trail off instrumentally? Maybe it's an interlude. Yeah, it trails off instrumentally. Oh, man. Oh, they don't even fade out. They just quick stop right there. This is a very well-written song. Like I said, it sounds incredibly simple. It sounds like what you're hearing is just tones and just random little flutters of the horn there, and then just a simple guitar lick. But there's so much more going on. I think I explained most of it through his reaction, so I'm not going to reiterate that. But yeah, no, beautiful use of atmosphere, beautiful use of sound, beautiful use of instruments. Seriously, man. I love the organic nature of a song like this, especially with this vocal styling. At one point in this reaction, I said, "Who's gonna do the bass? Where's the bass coming from?" And they just doubled down on the atmosphere, and they just went higher and higher and higher. And I didn't even think of that possibility of something like that happening, because to me, I'm like, okay, there needs to be a dynamic shift here. Otherwise, it's just gonna get boring. There's no way you can keep a song like this going and keep this feeling going. But they did. They did by adding slight little things like just like a slight little cymbal crash. It sounds like it just hisses out for a mile. It's those little small touches that your ear just normally doesn't even pick up on. But if you just sit and focus and really try and absorb a song, you can, really start to truly appreciate. And this is one of those songs that you can truly just bite into and chew into. And on top of all of that, one of my favorite things about this song is it felt like Christmas to me. It felt like a Christmas song without it directly having a lot of those telltale signs of the jingle bells or those tones that we're used to. There's nothing wrong with that. It's very familiar. It feels like home. It's, just sometimes hearing those things just puts you in a good mood. This put me in a comfortable mood, man. I just want to curl up next to a fire. I just want to grab my wife and like a cup of cocoa and just like snuggle. This is a straight up snuggle jam right here. Mur, man. Mur. Good pick. Very well done. Guys, if you enjoyed your time with me today, please consider liking and subscribing. I do this sort of thing all the time. And I guess I'll see you all in the next video. Happy holidays, everybody.